The calendar has turned to March. The madness is on the horizon. Ooh, here we go. The time of year of basketball when things happen and all you can do is be amazed. Welcome to Shooting Lights Out as March Madness is upon us. As this show starts right now.
Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Shooting Lights Out. Oh, we are in the month of March. It's that time of year in basketball where the level of play picks up to another level. Oh, this is going to be great. Welcome to Shooting Lights Out here, March 3rd, 2025. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching on the Playmakers Bar Network YouTube channel, we are live on the Playmakers Bar Network Facebook channel, and we are live on the Playmakers Bar X account as well for today's show. This is going to be good because, like I said, we're in the month of March, and it's going to get nasty in the game. It's going to get nasty, and I can't wait to dive into this. The women's college game has reached the final of its regular season. We will go over what happened on the final days of the women's side conference champions, and then look at the conference brackets and stuff like that. On the men's side, they are entering their final week of their regular season. Okay. As they enter their final week of their regular season, it's going to be interesting to see what is needed to be done to make some move, who's in, who's out, 1C, 2C, stuff like that. It's a lot going on, but hey, what can I say? It's a blessing to be here to do this show. And let's get to it. And we're going to start off with the NBA. And to start off with the NBA, first thing we're going to do is going to go around the hardwood with some news from around the world of the National Basketball Association. And to begin around the hardwood, they made the decision. 76ers have came out and said Joel Embiid will not return this season. 76ers and Embiid to miss the remainder of the regular season with the knee injury. It's the same knee that they've been talking about ever since last summer, going into this season. So they finally made that decision. They're gonna come up with the correct procedures and plan for him to have the knee surgery so that he can be healthy moving forward. Now that the 76ers would not have Joel Embiid, is their season done? Quite possibly. I am the camp of their season are done. However, the standings say something else, which I will show later on during this segment. But yeah, they actually pulled the plug. Joel, you are not returning this season. We're gonna focus on getting you healthy, preparing you for next season and the seasons beyond. We'll see if it works. But right now, I know 76ers fans are disgusted. They are disappointed. They are angry because Joel Embiid, you've been in the league for quite some time and you have not been able to be healthy not once in those times you've been in the NBA. But we'll see what Paul George and Tyrese Maxey can do now that they know for sure that Joel Embiid would not be coming back. They don't have to worry about looking over their shoulder saying when they big man's coming back. They can just go out and do what they need to do and see if they can make some things happen down in Philly. But I doubt it. But this is where we're at. Next on the docket here, we have this one hurts. Out indefinitely is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic to have knee surgery. When they was playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, when they got their ass whooped, by the way, because I did watch that game. We got beat by 40. I think it was like 132 to 92, something like that. Anyway, seeing Jalen Suggs on the sideline in street clothes is not a good sight. They never gave word on what was going on or where he'll be back, but now we got this. This came out yesterday. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit because, man, my Magic have fallen off a cliff. It's a straight. Matter of fact, we got beat by the Toronto Raptors yesterday. Yesterday, lost to the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors, and it was at home. Man, we had such a promising start to the season. Then Becerra went down. Then Franz Wagner went down. They come back. Mo Wagner goes down for the entire season with an ACL injury. Now we don't have Jalen Suggs most likely for the rest of the season. They saying definitely, but when you have knee surgery, that's going to take some time. We are already in the month of March. By the time the end of April, it'll be playoff time. Then you talking about May and June is the final. So if I'm Orlando, I might have to pull a Joel Embiid and say, Jalen Suggs, man, just get healthy for next season, man, because we are fighting for the playoffs. I think we're in 8th spot now. We was in the 4th spot at one point in time. We fell right down to 8th. But injuries, man. Injury has derailed the Orlando Magic, and they haven't found a way to bounce back from it. There's another example right here, man, and it's tough. Me as a Magic fan, it's tough. And I know it's tough for the players, man. I know it's tough. I know it's tough for Jamal Mosley, who's trying to coach his team the best he can while dealing with injuries, trying to see who's available and who's not. But, man, it's been one of them seasons for us, man. Just been one of them seasons, man. It sucks. But, hey, next man up, we got to do what we can to rectify the situation. Speaking of yesterday, it was scuffle night in the NBA. Ken Williams, Luke Dort ejected from the Thunder. Champagne ejected from the Spurs. They got into a scuffle. And the Thunder's big win was like 142 to 132. A high scoring game, by the way. Thunder's got a much needed win because they slacked off a bit. And they got a wake up call, which is good to know that you can get a wake up call and get your act together. That's very good to know. But man, that was crazy. That was absolutely insane. That was absolutely crazy. But hey, OKC, they got the dub. They made things happen. And I'm happy for them because that's what they needed. They needed a wake-up call. They needed to get themselves back together because you had some hiccups. Now, you got your mojo back. You got your fight in you. Now let's see what can you do moving forward because gotta be able to finish the season on the right note. Yes, you're the 1 seed, very sizable league in the West, but you want to make sure you finish it on a high note to where you feel good going into the playoffs. You don't want to have this big lead and all of a sudden somebody like the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, all of a sudden they come up and they close that gap and they come into the playoffs with the momentum and not OKC. Just because you're the 1 seed doesn't mean you're coming in with the momentum. And that's what a lot of people are mistaken. You want to get hot. This is the time of the year right here. March and April. This is the time of year you want to get hot. This is how you want to play your best basketball. Because when you play your best basketball at this time of the year, nothing can stop you. So this is where the Thunder are at. They might be the 1 seed, but can they stay hot? Can they take that momentum and keep it going and not just sit on their morals or like, hey man, there ain't nobody catching us. We too good. No, because believe it or not, there's people out here that still doubt you. They believe the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, and the Lakers are coming for you. They still feel like y'all are not ready to take the next step. And I need the Thunder, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who should be the MVP this year, to understand these people are not believers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, despite what y'all been able to do this season. These people don't believe. So you need to do something to make these people believe, okay? Got to. Got to do something to make these people believe. Speaking of the West, Sacramento Kings star Domantas Sabonis has a grade 1 hamstring. Ouch. Now he's probably gonna miss a month, weeks to month. I know that much because a hamstring injury is not something to play with, especially a grade 1. That hurts because I know the feeling. I had one before. That's gonna take a minute to get right, and when it does get right, you still want to make sure that it's right. So he'll be out indefinitely. The team announced on Sunday. An update will be provided in 1 week's time, so look for it next Monday on the 10th, somewhere between the 9th and the 10th. Look for an update from Sacramento. But yeah, a grade 1 hamstring strain, oof, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna take a minute for him to get that right, which kind of sucks for the Kings because they fighting for their playoff lives as we speak right now. They fighting for it. But you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Zach LaVine. They have played together before in Chicago, and they was able to carry the Bulls to some playoff appearances. They didn't finish quite well, but you know they know how to do it. And see what the rest of the cast and crew can do without the big star in the inside. But man, oof. Grade 1 hamstring strain. Ugh, that hurts. Ugh. Man, that definitely hurts. And before I close out, let me take this down. Let me take this down real quick because we did have some breaking news come in earlier today. I didn't have time to put on here. Let's go to the WNBA, and as you may know, we have a new team coming to the WNBA with the Golden State Valkyries. But next year, 2026, we have the Toronto Tempos arriving, making their debut season in 2026. Here's the news. Speaking of Toronto Tempo, Serena Williams is joining the ownership group of the Tempo. The 23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams is joining the Toronto Tempo ownership group. The organization announced Wednesday. So this was made on Wednesday. This is great. The team is primarily owned by Cleveland Sports Ventures, trained by Larry Tenenbaum, and is led by team president Teresa Rich. The Tempo are the 15th team to join the WNBA and will tip off their first season in 2026. So Serena Williams is diving into the world of basketball with the WNBA. Very good news. Love it. Love it. In a way, if those people want to be petty, be it. I know what you're thinking. It is interesting that when she dives into the WNBA, it will be a team in Toronto out of all places. You know, but what if that was the only opportunity Serena Williams had? Because I know there's some people out there who probably want to be petty. She doing such and such to get at such and such. I don't believe that at all. Man, she was performing at the Super Bowl halftime with Kendrick Lamar and Kurt walking to Not Like Us. So. But I just know how people think, especially in the social media era. But it is quite ironic that she's joining the group that is going to be in Toronto. It is ironic, by the way. It is. I would not front. It is ironic, but I'm happy that she is, taking the chance and stepping into the world of basketball for the WNBA. Because we need to get more eyes on WNBA. Great season last year. Got a new crop getting ready to come in after this March Madness run for the ladies. And got another group coming in last year that's going to be led by somebody that I know very well. That everybody knows very well. Who should be getting the spotlight now. But yes, good job, Serena Williams. Continue to grow the women's game and women's sports throughout the world. And it is called Women's Month. I don't know how the month of March became Women's Month, but It is Women's Month, so it's a good thing to have one of the greatest tennis players of all time dive into another women's sport in an ownership role. So that would do it for Around the Hardwood. But the show continues. No break. We're going to keep going with the NBA. We're going to go back into the NBA. Because here we are. Here's your Eastern Conference standings. As you see, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the first team to notch 50 wins on the season, 50-10 on the season. They have a 7.5 game lead on the defending champs, the Boston Celtics. And for the first time in a very long time, I have to do something that I haven't done in a very, very long time. Yeah, I'm going a heat check. And those of you who are new to the show, a heat check is when it's the opposite of flagrant foul. Since everybody know what a flagrant foul is and how I do it. Heat check's the opposite. I praise teams and players and stuff like that for what they are doing during the season, stuff like that. And with this one, we going to the land, Cleveland Cavaliers. They are getting a heat check because this is what they're doing. 50-10 on the season, number one in the East, second in points per game at 123. They are eighth in rebounding at 45.3, seventh in assists at 28.9, basically 29 assists a game, and they're 11 in opponents' points per game at 111.6. Number one thing I want y'all to look at, they have a point differential of 12. This is what the Cleveland Cavaliers have been doing. It's been an amazing job from the Cleveland Cavaliers. And before I continue on, ladies and gentlemen, joining me right now is the one, the only, Cole Johnson.
Lord, I can't believe that tarot card reading motherfucker. Hi, Playmaker. How you doing?
This is not Warnock's. This is your nice out.
What? How would anyone else know that I wasn't talking about something NBA related?
Because we have to already. I mean, if you want, feel free to send Kuma Ken a message. You know, he'll be glad to send you the link, so you can get that out your system.
Well, why not? But but no, man, it's good. It's good to be with you, man.
Man, and you joined me for the first heat chat I have done in a very long time.
Really? Oh, so you giving props to somebody, and a good team to give props to.
Yeah. Look at these. Look at this. Is what they have, a point differential 12.
This is what I love about the Cavs. They're such a young team, but it seems like they learn lessons really fast. I mean, because last year they had some success, and it was pretty much capped off the way it was supposed to. Had a conference semifinals loss to Boston, and they really didn't measure up to them. But it looked like they learned a lot of lessons in that playoff run. And of course, I know it strikes a little hard on you, Mr. Playmaker, but of course, I'm not doing it for that reason.
I already struck myself. I already had to talk about Jalen Suggs being out indefinitely. So,
but this team is young, for maybe the exception of Donovan Mitchell, and they just simply, they simply, what can I say? They don't mess up their assignments. Now, I'll admit, earlier in Cleveland, when Boston came to town, they took an L, but they decided to return the favor when recently they went to Boston, and they raised a 25-3 lead and gave them a 7-point L. So
yeah.
They are really impressive, and
they won their last 10 games.
They are a surprise to me. I did not think they was going to do this well.
They won their last 10 games. And you talking about at Detroit, who is one of the most surprising teams in the NBA.
And they've been catching fire too, yeah.
Minnesota, who just come off yesterday, beat the brakes off Phoenix, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're tough. They're tough out.
They destroyed the Knicks.
And that is not an easy feat. However, I have a bone to pick with Tom Thibodeau about that.
I think I already beat you to it the episode that you couldn't join me.
You probably did.
You have Phoenix on, you have Memphis on here, the Boston game that you're talking about, and then just yesterday, when they was down double digits in the fourth quarter to Portland, they went ahead, dropped 40 in the fourth quarter, then beat them in overtime.
It might be about time for us to really consider, are the Celtics really the clear-cut front runner in the East?
Well, they did beat the Nuggets, so
I'm not saying they aren't. I mean, if I were to hazard a guess, and if the Celtics and the Cavs meet in the conference finals this year,
I'm still taking Boston.
I won't say no matter who has home court advantage. Obviously, it would probably be the Cavs.
I'm still taking.
I
Boston.
still think the Celtics could win. However, I don't think it would be far-fetched for me to think that the Cavs could actually beat them. So, seeing this, the question has to be asked. Are the Celtics now a clear-cut front runner? Because these Cavs are looking really, really nice.
Oh no, they looking good. They are they playing some ball. I give them that. Mm-hmm. And you know what the leaders are. It's the backcourt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell, 24.3 points per game. Giving you about 4 and 5 on the rebounding and assist category. Mm-hmm. Darius Garland, 21, 6 assists, you know. But
it's that defense in the front court that really does it for me.
But I must talk about this.
Talk about him.
DeAndre Hunter trade. You added a 16-point guy who's shooting 50% from the field and almost
60% from
three-point range since he came to the Cavs.
That's ridiculous.
That trade with the Atlanta Hawks could be the difference.
Well, I think it definitely be the difference in the regular season, because I don't see a team catching them in the East for as far as the number 1 seed is concerned.
And not to mention, DeAndre Hunter is known for defense.
Yeah. So that's why I loved his pickup, because the Cavs addressed what I think they really needed more of to stop teams on the other end.
Like a team like Boston, when you have a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum.
Yeah, because you could try to match them bucket for bucket, but it's a little easier to make it difficult for them to make buckets than it is for you to generate your own.
So, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, then you add Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, along with DeAndre Hunter. An Eastern Conference Finals matchup with Boston will be must-see TV. I'm just going to say that.
Yes, it will be. This it might be one of the few times I will probably look forward to a conference final matchup.
So, but I got to give love to Cleveland, man. They are doing it.
Oh, they kicking much butt, man.
And they are going to the Bulls nest. They have the Heat, who's been slipping ever since they traded Jimmy Butler.
Oh, they miss him now. Oh, I'm sorry.
They got a game at Milwaukee coming up. I'm looking forward to that game, March 9th on ESPN.
That might be a future playoff matchup too.
They have a game at Memphis. They have the Magic coming in on March 16th, but the way that my match is looking at it, I don't like that matchup whatsoever. Especially after they beat us by 40 down in Orlando. And that was on TNT, by the way.
Oh, well, I mean, things might change.
Then you have a road trip starting at the Clippers, at the Kings, and at Phoenix. Those 3 games could be very interesting.
Yeah, now that game in Memphis, man, when they went out in Cleveland, that was a good game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Well, that is a heat check for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Man, I like your graphics designer.
Now let's go to the West. Well, that's because the guy that's on the screen with me, he the one that made it.
Oh, well.
The Thunder have a comfortable lead in the West,
Yeah.
49-11. But look who's
15.
number 2. The Lakers have climbed to the number 2 spot.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Lakers climb to the number 2 spot. The Denver Nuggets sitting right there, right behind them. Number 3, the Grizzlies at 4. Houston Rockets, 5. And if you go down to the bottom at 11 and 12, you see the Phoenix Suns and the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, Lord.
You okay over there?
They championship contenders. Look what they got after Luka came. Oh, championship. Oh, I hate that.
What?
Lord.
One of the things that Cole Johnson loves about me is the fact that I am objective. And I do call it how I see it, whether it's good for me or not. And unfortunately, y'all thought I had one heat check. I actually have 2.
Oh, Lord. Cool these chumps off.
And it's the Lakers. As much as I hate the Lakers,
Cool these chumps off.
I have to give props when they are due. 38-21, second in the West. And these numbers here don't knock your socks off, but what does that tell you about the West right now?
Well, other than the Thunder, no one knocks your socks off.
112.7 points per game, 42.5 rebounds a game, 26.3 assists per game, and they give up 111.1 points per game. So that's a difference of 1 point, ladies and gentlemen.
Lord.
But they are second in the West.
To hear this crap from the bronze sexuals. Oh, look at this. They're the best team in the West now. They're the hottest team in the West. Oh, yeah. Bronny and LeBron, they're going to hold a championship in June. Shut up.
They went 10-2 in the month of February.
Yeah, led by the man with the broken foot in the All-Star game.
Actually, no, I take that back. 12-2 in the month of February. They played 14 games in February. They went 12-2.
Yeah, led by the man with the broken foot in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Wins over the Knicks. 2 wins over the Clippers actually made that 3 because they beat them last night too. I don't have time for a freaking 5 on the Clippers, but
well, thankfully the Lakers don't have to play the Clippers anymore in the regular season.
They did beat Golden State. They did beat the Pacers. They beat Denver. They beat Dallas and they beat Minnesota. So the teams that you got a chance for in the West, they already beaten. But just add more headache to Cole Johnson right about now.
Yes.
And speaking of aforementioned, let's go to LeBron James. Doing at the age of 40. Averaging almost 25 points per game with 8 rebounds and close to 9 assists. So 25, 8, and 9 at the age of 40.
Yeah, we never seen that before in the annals of NBA. Ooh, he's still not the GOAT.
I didn't say all that.
I know you didn't, but dumb chumps do.
I don't know why you still have this battle. Like, this battle's never going to end. Just let it go. Like, you wasting your time trying to go back and forth with these people.
Well, it's just because they're stupid. They're brain devoid. I don't understand it. Not the.
You can't fix stupid.
I agree with you, but still, it's not the. I think LeBron's horrible. It's not the. I don't think LeBron is great. It's just, it's not even if they think, well, LeBron's better than Jordan. It's LeBron is here and Jordan is below the ground, or Kobe, or Ja Morant, or Giannis Antetokounmpo or Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic or any other player that you can choose. That's what grates my nerves about these dummies. And that's the stupid that yes, you can't fix, but it's the stupid that I highlight because it's basically like someone taking a dump in the middle of the street.
You can't fit stupid. But Austin Reeves giving you 19, 4, and 6.
You can fix having dung in the street.
And then the reason why the Lakers are second in the West right now.
Yeah, man who's having revenge on his mind. And I do not fault him for it.
Luka Doncic in 8 games with the Lakers, 22 points per game. Ain't shooting the ball that very well, to be quite honest with you. But
when you get into the flow of the team.
But when you getting 8 rebounds and 7 assists a game, don't matter.
Right, he'll get there.
And it's plus you teaming up with LeBron James as well, which actually is making him play even better, surprisingly.
Yeah, he'll get there.
Like LeBron, we thought LeBron James was on his way out. He might be staying around for another couple more years because they got Luka now.
Stop cursing.
Just saying.
That dude needs to retire now so we can actually have these dummies talk about something else besides him.
Well, the fact that they got Luka and they on the road, I mean, what you want me like? You know, I got to keep it a buck.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Keep it the buck. I'm also keeping the buck. Dude's 40. He can't improve on his legacy whatsoever. He just needs to hang it up. Steal. Yes, scoring 25, pulling down 8, and dishing out 9. Retire. Please. Because we talk about things that really matter in the NBA besides number 23 of now the Lakers.
The man want to go out on top, and he has an opportunity to go out on top, surprisingly.
No, he just needs to go out, period. On top, on the bottom, doesn't matter what sexual position. I mean, it doesn't matter what position he is in. He just needs to go.
The vitriol being felt from one Cole Johnson. Jeez. Wow. Jeez. And here we got coming up tomorrow. They welcoming Zion Williamson and the Pelicans to Crypto.com Arena.
So a Crip is being welcomed into crypto. Oh, that's nice.
Not a Crip.
Oh, I'm sorry, a cripple is being embraced by crypto. That's nice of them. That's nice of the Lakers.
US. I don't know what to say about it. And then
what is Zion Williamson the healthiest basketball player you've ever seen?
He ain't the most injured one I've seen. I just talked about him earlier. So
there you go.
The reason why the 76ers season is done, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. My knee is messed up and has been messed up probably for years. Joel Embiid, yeah. But still, Zion is one of the most injury-prone players we've ever seen in the NBA.
Now, this is the Lakers' next 10 games, but I want you to focus on the 3. We already talked about the Zion one. And then on TNT on March 6th, it's the Knicks.
Okay, so they invite the Knicks. Okay.
And then on the weekend, March 8th, they go to Boston.
Oh, Lord, my doggone mentions are going to be blown up. The best rivalry in all the NBA. No, it's not. It hasn't been for at least the last 15 years.
These are the next 3 games for the Lakers. And then you got a trip to Milwaukee after you go to Brooklyn. Then Denver probably won't pay back on the 14th after what Luka did to them.
They should want payback, especially the way Luka did them dirty on their own home deck. Yeah,
it's right back in Denver. So
I would think. I would think they would want revenge on them.
And good luck, Phoenix. Good luck, San Antonio. And then Denver makes the trip to LA, and then Milwaukee makes the trip to LA.
So they play Milwaukee and Denver twice in this 3-week stretch. Okay.
What?
I'll say this about the Lakers. I mean, I can clown them and I can clown Brown sexuals all day. But I really am liking the fact that you're seeing this team gel and actually starting to gel at the right time. the talk about them early in the season was, okay, so you got JJ Redick, but it looks like the team is doing similar things and having similar results as you had when Darvin Ham was the head coach of the team. Why'd you get this guy here? And now that February, it actually makes the executive team of the Lakers look pretty smart.
Hey, like I said,
because Redick is having them play really, really solid basketball.
And they playing defense.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, when I say basketball, I mean not they're filling it up only, but they're filling it up and they're stopping teams. And they're stopping teams at clutch times and clutch moments. That is huge. That is huge.
But like I said, I'm a guy that's going to keep the book. I'm a guy that's going to be objective. He will tell you firsthand, if there's a bigger Laker hater, it's most likely me.
Yeah. See, I don't hate the Lakers. I don't really like them, but I don't hate them. And I don't even hate LeBron. I actually like him. It's just the obsessive.
You hate his fan base.
Well, I don't hate his fan base. It's the obsessive part of the. How can I put it this way? Okay.
You treat them like you treat the Cowboys fans.
Thank you. Because I know many of Cowboys fans that are reasonable and rational, but the irrational ones, that's what makes me laugh. That's why I'm entertained by them, and that's who I clown. That is who I dislike when it comes to anything now of the Lakers. It was the same way with the Cavs the second time, the same way with the Cavs the first time, and the same way with the Heat when LeBron James was on their team. So I'm happy about the Lakers. They have been wanting to have success like this, and I mean it's been since before Kobe retired, since they actually had any modicum of success like this. And I don't even count the bubble championship.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew it.
I don't. The reason why is they had 4 months off, so they healed, had 4 months off. They actually came back and was able to be champions with a 4-month time off. If it was straight from October to June, and they had that same season, I'd say yes. Since 2020, I don't count that. Since 2011, I would probably say 2011. I think the Lakers have been wanting to have a season like this, and for the first time in 14 years, they finally do have one.
So that's your heat check, Lakers. I might not stand y'all, but I am objective about when I do my show.
Bronsexuals, you need to just climb back into the sewer in which you came under. In fact, you trolls joined Travis Scott there too.
Oh, Lord. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk college because we are in the month of March.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC. Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real. I explain this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called WrestleMania. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by whipping your team, your league, or your favorite player. Fanatics, official license, everything.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these 2 football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Welcome back to Shining Lights Out.
One shining moment. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
We getting there. We are definitely getting there. The calendar has turned to March.
Yes.
And oh boy, it is going. Just know this is the time of year everybody loves basketball. This is the time of year everybody loves basketball.
Probably more so than even. Well, I don't know. I have a different type of appreciation when the NBA gets to this playoffs time, but yeah, I have a love of basketball that is a little bit different when we get to now, or at least when we get to the middle part of March.
So let's begin our college tour with the men's. As this week, they're going into their final week of the season. But what happened last weekend? They start off in the Big Ten. Michigan State sent a message to Wisconsin 71-62. Ended a 3-game losing streak at home to the Badgers. That was on yesterday. And also yesterday, the final line went into
Ann Arbor and destroyed them.
Let's break it down. Jaden Atkins for Michigan State, 19 points, 6 from 18 from the field, a third of the shots made, 4 for 9 from 3-point range. That's the key word.
That's good.
8 rebounds, getting a nice win, outscoring the Wisconsin Badgers 39-28 in the second half.
Yeah, they stepped it up in the second half on defense, obviously. And the key when you do that with Wisconsin, we talked about this earlier this year. You got to be patient with Wisconsin because they want to drain the clock, and they want to take the best shot that they can possibly get, and on every possession. And it takes a lot of patience on defense for you to either maybe intercept a pass or to force a tough shot. So, credit to the Spartans for being tough on the defensive end and giving the Badgers an L.
You see that 62 by Wisconsin? I want you to circle that. And you write down 62 because that's a key number. Why I say that's a key number? Because this is why Illinois beat the brace off of Michigan. 62-43 in the second half.
Man. So I guess defense is optional, Wolverines. Jeez, and it's in your crib too. That's what makes it even worse.
Trey White for Illinois, 19.6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3-point range, 11 boards and 2 steals.
One of my coworkers who was an Illinois alum, I know, and I should have known because I was in the meeting with him today. He had a grin from this end to this end. Now I see why.
62 points and a half.
62 in the second half to boot. I'm like, that is an exclamation point if there ever was one.
Dusty May, you have to figure something now because them boys put up 62 in 20 minutes.
Well, I better pray that they don't see him in the Big Ten tournament.
Speaking of which, the two Michigan schools are fighting it out to see who's going to be the one seed for the Big Ten tournament. Now, those of you who are questioning, I got you covered.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe they play each other on Saturday.
Well, I figured they would. They're big time rivals of each other. I figured they would probably either, if not close out, they'd play like Wednesday or Saturday.
So they play each other this weekend on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get there, Michigan will be seeing Maryland in a top 20 matchup on Wednesday. That is in Ann Arbor. If Maryland beats Michigan, that opens the door for Michigan State to close it out on Thursday when they go to Illinois.
Oh, so Michigan don't see Ohio State the rest of the year? Oh,
nope. And then Sunday, the lone game on Sunday. Well, the lone ranked game on Sunday, should I say.
Mm-hmm.
12 o'clock CVS. At So, who wants to win the Big Ten? There's gonna be a team in Michigan. We know that much.
Yeah.
From the Big Ten, let's roll to the Big 12.
All right. Good job, Cougs.
Houston handled business at home 73-64. Iowa State handled business at home 84-67 over Arizona. And then Texas Tech went to Allen Fieldhouse and got a dub 78-73.
Kansas, what's happened? Raw Talk, Jayhawk. What's happened?
We're gonna get there. First off, Iowa State 84, Arizona 67. Top 25 matchup in the Big Ten. Marjanovic, 17 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 4 from 7 from 3-point range. Arizona is in the category with the UConns, the Kansas of the world, where people were looking for y'all to do something, and all of a sudden you're either at the bottom of the rankings or you're not ranked.
And that's a tough loss they took too. And what sucked was they started off slow. So yeah, this is not a type of L they need to take now. And yes, I know it's to a higher ranked team and they were in Ames. I get that. Still though, you're Arizona. You're supposed to be one of the blue blood college basketball teams. This is a paltry effort from the Wildcats.
What's going on in Tucson? Speaking of what's going on in Lawrence? You gave up 48 in the first half, but you fought back in the second half. But
Wilt Chamberlain,
careless turnovers.
Wilt Chamberlain is turning over at his grave.
Careless turnovers by the Jayhawks.
Well, he might be banging a woman, but he's still turned over in his grave.
I mean, know that you said that.
What?
Before fouling out JB Toppin of the Red Raiders, 21 points, 9 for 15 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3-point range for 5 rebounds. That's before he fouled out. And even when he fouled out, the Jayhawks still couldn't do nothing to get the win. Oh, and by the way, speaking of this, So Kansas player,
Mhm.
Mayo, received racist comments and threats to him on social media after this loss.
Ooh.
Which prompted head coach Bill Self to send a message that you can see right here. I'm just gonna say he pretty much did what all coaches do. All criticism and blame goes directly to him. He's the head coach of the program.
And I'm still in them to do anything about it. Bill Self.
Why y'all got to target this man? Like, for what reason? He lost the game. So what?
What was it you said to me about 10 minutes ago? You can't fix stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
See, this ain't stupid. This is just nonsense.
It's nonsense. It's evil, but it's also still stupidity. But yeah, I agree. It's stupidity on a much deeper, much more ridiculous level. I do agree with you there.
Stuff like this piss me off.
As it should, because you think that we should be more evolved in March of 2025. Obviously, there is a gene pool in this. I would say in the world, but I'll put it just in this brass tacks of this country, that they seem to still possess a kindergarten education when they speak. And they could be 35, 40 years old.
Hey, you want to do me a favor? You know how you get rid of this? Why don't you just get rid of gambling? How about that?
No, wait, you talking too much sense, playmaker. That can't happen because the NCAA, the greediest outfit in all the sports. Yes, you heard me correctly. Greedier than NFL, greedier than Major League Baseball, greedier than NHL, even greedier than boxing. They can't outlaw gambling because they make too much money from it.
Get rid of gambling.
Amateur athletics and all.
I guarantee if you get rid of gambling, you'll start seeing racist comments. How about I bet you that? Because you know why?
Of course you would.
Because idiots won't be sitting out there betting money on something they have no control over.
Well, you might have some idiots who still will bet on that though. Those big dummies.
Make no damn sense. Now we get to Houston. Of course, they handle business against a 17-12 Cincinnati team. LJ acquired 20 points, 7 for 13 from the field, 2 from 6 from 3-point range.
Yes.
All that does is just crown the Houston Cougars as the Big 12 regular season champions.
Congratulations. That's one step. That's one step you've made. Now you have 3 more to go. Let's cut down the nets, and I don't know if they're playing KC or Dallas this year. KC. Well, let's cut down the nets in KC for the Big 12 Conference Championship. Let's cut down the nets of whatever region you lead when you win your Elite Eight game, and then we'll cut down the nets for the national championship. Let's do that, boys. You got the team. Let's do it. Come on now, Cougs.
You know, I actually made a slide for that, but I didn't think to put it in the show. See if I can find it. Yeah, I got it. But that's the Big 12 that's been won by the Houston Cougars for back-to-back seasons.
Yep, second straight year. Yep.
From the Big 12 to the best conference in basketball. And no, this is not me.
Think you would ever say that about the SEC?
And Cole would tell you, I'm not being biased when I say that either.
No, you're not being biased at all. But did you ever think in life that you would actually say the Southeastern Conference is the best conference, or at least the most competitive one, in college basketball?
Nah.
Baseball, I could see. Definitely football. Basketball, I never thought I'd say that. But here we are.
If you don't believe me, let's go back to the non-schedule when they were playing all the other conferences. They were dominating.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, they beat the ACC in the first night. It's a 2-night event between the ACC and the SEC. They beat them in the first night. That's how dominant the SEC has been this year. And as you can see, number one Auburn, they went to Rupp Arena, got a big man. Kentucky was outmatched. I can tell you that right now. But I'm gonna dive into that later. 79 Volunteers, 76 Clemson Tide.
Ooh.
That was a game, man. I
looks-
enjoyed that game.
It looks like the Volunteers are trying to position themselves for a number 1 seed.
I enjoyed that game. Vanderbilt did it again. Vanderbilt did it again.
They keep going. They actually might be a top 4. They keep going like this.
Vanderbilt did it again, and then Florida bounced back from. I'll talk about what happened to them before this game, but just know I was pissed off.
No, don't be upset. Don't be upset about that. I see that they beat up Texas A&M. That should give everybody around the country reasons to smile.
When I say what I need to say, you will understand my pain.
But still, beating down the Aggies should give everybody around the country a reason to smile.
94-78 in Rupp Arena. Miles Kelly for Auburn. 30 points on the day. 10 for 17 from the field.
From 3. Gee.
9 for 14 from 3. Not Janai Broom. Janai Broom only had 9 points in this game. Didn't even need them. Because Kentucky could not hang with the Auburn Tigers in Rupp Arena. They just couldn't hang with them. Mark Pope, he got some work to do with this young Wildcat team, and it showed Bruce Pearl had them boys ready to go, and they was not. Dude, the first half I'd have seen Auburn hitting a 3. If it weren't Kelly, it was CBM hitting a 3. I'm like, Pettiford come in hit a 3. I'm like, these dudes are just knocking 3s left and right. Good crisis.
Here's another anomaly. So the SEC is playing the best basketball league-wide that I think we have seen probably in our lifetimes, if not in a long time. Did you also think that Kentucky would not be one of the best teams making that mark in the conference?
Whew. When you have a new coach, I expect that.
Yeah. You're always going to have some sort of transitional time. So I'm not saying that Kentucky's horrible. I'm just saying that Kentucky normally is the team that normally waves the SEC banner the fastest and the highest when it comes to college basketball. But not this year.
Oh no, not this year. From Rupp Arena to Rocky Top.
Ooh,
Tennessee, man. 79, Alabama, 76.
I'm telling you, Rocky Toppers are loving that.
Chaz Lanier, 18.7 for 16 from the field, 2 from me from 3-point range, 4 rebounds, and then Jamari Meshach with the game-winning buzzer beater.
I want to see these two teams go at it again. And if I'm not mistaken, I think are they coming to Nashville?
I'll let you know.
Or is it Atlanta?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Man, it was a game to watch.
I want these two teams to play again in the SEC tournament.
It was a fun game. This was a fun game.
I want these two teams to play, and I want a number 1 seed on the line when they play. Because
our number 1 seed was on the line when they played this one.
That's what I'm saying. I know a number 1 seed's on the line when they played this one, but I want a number 1 seed to be on the line for sure when they play in the conference tournament. Because I hope they play again.
Remember this result, because this result had major SEC complications that came with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then Vanderbilt did it again. Vanderbilt did it again.
They just keep upsetting teams in the SEC.
97-93. They was down.
This time it is Mizzou.
They was down double digits. They had to come back from double digits down to send it to overtime. And then in overtime, they took it off. Chris Meyer, 23 points, 8 for 13, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. If Chris wasn't playing for Vanderbilt, he might be in the running for player of the year. Because every time I turn around, he's dropping 20 or 30 points in these upsets. But Vanderbilt did it again. Oh, no. I think this probably like they 7 or 8 quad one win.
I'm saying if they keep going, they actually might be a 4. They actually might be a 4 seed in the tournament if they keep going.
Oh my good gracious! What is going on in Nashville? And where you're at, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are they?
Well,
What is going on over there?
They've been wanting to have this type of success. I think they didn't think that this team would actually come with the results that they had. But man, they're preparing for a deep run with Vanderbilt. They're preparing for one.
They 20 Vanderbilt 20 wins. 20 wins is Vanderbilt. Good gracious.
And then and many of them wins aren't cheap either. So that's what's going to make them a tough out when they get to the tournament.
Yeah, they call Kentucky and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, they called Tennessee twice.
Mm-hmm. That's what's going to make them a tough out when they get into the NCAA tournament. I feel for any team that plays them because they're going to have to bring a lunch.
And then down in Gainesville at the O'Connor Center,
Yes.
89 Florida, 70 Texas A&M. Will Richards 25 points, 9 for 13 from the field, 6 for 9 from the 3-point range with 6 rebounds.
Beat down them chumps. Yes.
I'm gonna go to my last slide. Then I'm gonna talk about the Gators because
the Cuff A&M.
If it wasn't for the result between Tennessee and Alabama and what happened to Florida on Thursday, Auburn won't be sitting here as the SEC champions.
Congratulations, Auburn. But I love the fact that A&M got their butts beat down. I'm happy about that than Auburn cutting down the nets for the SEC regular season championship.
They found out on the bus on the way back to Auburn. They ain't cutting no net down. They was on a bus traveling back to Auburn when they found out.
But that's all right though. That's quite all right.
And the reason why I say it went for a Thursday because Florida went to Athens and got caught by the Bulldogs.
Oh, not their arch rival to boot. Oh, wow.
You see my problem now.
Mm-hmm.
You went to Athens. You found yourself down 20 points in the first half before before you came storming back. Finally took the lead, but then Georgia was able to get a 7-point win over you.
Yeah, because I hate to say it in this vernacular, but yeah, your team shot their load when they came back to get the lead.
If you don't lose to Georgia, and you did what you did at Texas A&M, Auburn's not SEC champions right now.
That's all right. You get them back in the tournament.
Which we
you seem to have success against Auburn playing against them anyway.
I was gonna say you shouldn't have had a candidate that could be already went down to the jungle and beat them down.
I'm saying you've had success against Auburn this year. You play them again, you actually might win the SC tournament.
If we play them again, I got a feeling them boys gonna want payback because they're gonna remember what happened.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, thanks. See now, Auburn gets to be the 1 seed. We might end up being a 4 seed if things don't go the way they need to go. Because we go. Matter of fact, it's on the slide.
So Tennessee must be the 2 seed at the moment. Okay.
Yeah. Big East champion St. John's. First time in forever.
Wait a minute. Did we turn the clock back to the mid-80s?
Nope. That's why I say people need to put some respect on Rick Pitino's name.
Man, I was about to say, congrats to Rick Pitino and making a huge difference in such a short time there. Wow.
The Big East champions. St. John's. So when they go to Madison Square Garden, you know who the 1 seed is, the home team.
Yeah, I was about to say, they'll have a huge home court advantage. Yeah.
And then that is at least one conference that we haven't talked about. Oh, the ACC.
The Pac-2. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Well, how come Duke haven't won ACC yet? Well, that's because they haven't put away Louisville or Clemson yet. Which Clemson already caught Duke. If those of you don't remember, that was Dick Vitale first game back.
I remember.
And Clemson out physical Duke in that game. And then all of a sudden, Louisville, who nope. Did you ever see a season where Louisville doesn't get talked about, and yet they still hanging around at the top?
Never. And we were living in it. We're living in that season, but never.
Louisville just hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talking about them. Yet they are 16-2 in the ACC and 23-6 overall.
Oh, Tar Heels, what happened to you all? You're gonna brag when you beat Duke this weekend. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh Lord. And that game is in North Carolina too. That game is
it probably is in Chapel Hill, I believe. Yeah.
Oh God.
We beat Duke. I don't give a crap. Did you win the ACC?
We beat Duke. We sent Marshall Scorsese home, but you lost in the national championship to Kansas.
Right. That's a lot more important than your rivalry. And I have lived in that area, so I know how huge it is considered.
No, let's go back to Ohio State losing to Michigan in football.
Mm-hmm.
People are more mad that they lost to Michigan than them winning the national championship when they both raised everybody.
I found that I still find that ridiculous. I'm like, look, yes, I know you haven't beat your rival in 5 years, but good Lord, you got the gold cylinder. Hoist that thing in the air.
And you pretty much boat racing everybody.
You boat raced everybody. You clobbered everybody that was in front of you. Of course, Texas had to have a brain fart and not know how to play offense. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Woosah. This is basketball, not football. Woosah.
Just saying, like this is how crazy people are with these rivalries.
Yeah. But you brought up a great point. Tar Heels fan was bragging hard. I forgot what year that was, if it was 2021 or 22. But yeah, they're bragging hard. Yeah, we beat Duke in the national semifinal.
It wasn't even about Duke. It was the fact that they ended Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah.
They ended Coach K.
Yeah. Coach K's last game was against us, and it was an L. Okay, cool. You still had another game to play, and the Jayhawks beat you down.
You blew a double-digit halftime lead to lose by double digits to Kansas in the national championship.
That's what I said. Yeah, Kansas in the national championship beat you down. Not just beat you down. But you're like, but we still retired Mike Krzyzewski. Who gives a crap? Yeah.
Like I said, you can't fit stupidity.
No, you can't.
And
but you can have a lot of fun at its expense.
It sounds like stupidity show up more than sports than anything.
Yes. Politics. You'd be so surprised. I know it's not that show, but still.
Here are the teams that on the bubble watch to Joe Lunardi. Last 4 byes go to Baylor, San Diego State, Arkansas. How's Arkansas in the last 4 bye? They got their ass whooped in Columbia.
Wow. Why you have to drag it out like that, man?
It was South Carolina. Beat the brakes off them. And you talking about last 4 bye for Arkansas? Now, I love John Calipari, but you got your ass whooped by South Carolina. Did I miss something here? I don't recall Arkansas have a lot of key wins on their resume. You're muted, sir.
Thank you, sir. But they do have John Calipari coaching them.
I'm just saying, like, wait a minute. This team is 17-12.
Well, you remember us saying that the Southeastern Conference is the best conference in basketball. I think in part Arkansas has this designation because of it.
Well, you beat Michigan in non-conference. And if you notice, I haven't said no other team. Okay, you beat Kentucky. Yeah, you went to Rupp and John Calipari.
I'm gonna say they went to Rupp and beat Kentucky. So yeah,
and beat Kentucky. Mm-hmm. So I give you that one.
Mm-hmm.
You beat Missouri. I remember that. That was this past week, the weekend before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Again, best conference in college basketball. They're amongst that. And they have a big time win over a top 20 ranked team outside the conference. So there you have it.
Last four, bye. Get the.
There you go, playmaker. Yes. No. Feel flow with the
I normally don't
let
disagree.
it go.
I normally don't disagree with Joe Lunardi because he's been doing this more than I've been alive. So I usually take him for his word. But Arkansas? Hell no.
Let the vitriol flow through you.
Last four in Oklahoma, Indiana, Ohio State. Texas is on the inline.
See, this is a bunch of crap. This is a bunch of crap.
Now it's your turn.
Why on earth do you have Oklahoma and Texas being the last four in? Look, all I have to say is I know that Texas has played up and down, so I'm not even thinking from the standpoint of, well, if they're being unfairly treated. No, they've had a rough go in the SEC, their initial season there, unlike A&M, and it was flipped because A&M stuff was a little rough for them. In football at the end of the season, in Texas, well, they rose up and beat the brakes off of them. And then Oklahoma, they struggled in their first season in the SEC football wise, and they're now struggling their first season in the basketball round, SEC wise. But
you did beat A&M at one point.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a victory over an A&M.
You did beat Kentucky,
right? But am I happy that they're on the last four in? Not really. And that's for Oklahoma.
You know what's funny?
You're not A&M, so I can't really go all the way ham on you.
You know what's funny? Y'all in, Georgia's out, and Georgia beat Florida.
And see, and that's where I was about to go. I was actually about to segue that. I think it's foul for Georgia to be on the first four outline, and they beat a team that was at one point considered a number one seed. So, and they probably will end up being maybe the number 2 ranked team in the SEC come tournament time. So, conference tournament time. So, you got to rank that win a whole lot higher to me than what you have with Georgia being one of the first four out. I just don't see it.
You did ask what's going on in North Carolina. They're on the first four outline. There you go.
Well, to the victory go the spoils, and to spoiled brats go dirt. Tar Heels, you deserve this butt whooping.
As you saw, Wake Forest on the next four out, right? They can change that tonight by going to Cameron Indoors and taking down number 2 Duke.
They're going to take another L. Oh, wow.
And Kansas, we talked about you, and guess what? You get to go and visit the Big 12 champions. You get to go visit your champions.
That's right. Bow, and take that butt whooping with you.
That's tonight. Tomorrow, Auburn at College Station against A&M.
Auburn, I know you got the SEC regular season championship in tow. I don't give a crap. Put an L on this team. They don't deserve the 12 in their ranking. They're not the 12th best team in the country. Put them down and put them out. At this, though, they are a hurt dog with one bad limb, and you have a rifle. Put it to their scalpel and fire the trigger. Take them out tomorrow. Forget Reveille.
I thought Cole Jones was a Christian man.
I am a Christian man. I was like, I mean, basically, Auburn, treat A&M like their old Yeller.
They have Iowa State ranked number 9 hosting 25th ranked BYU Cougars. Both games are at 9. One is on ESPN, the other's on ESPN2.
Wow. So you mean to tell me Iowa State finds herself in the same position this year as it did last? because you know they were fighting to be a number 1 seed, and I think they ended up being a number 2. And so,
I think they are currently will be a 3 seed at the moment.
I mean, now they're 3, but I mean, but I think they're going to try to fight to be a number 2. That's what I'm saying.
They got a lot of work to do to be a number 2, and being completely honest.
No, I agree with you, but they seem to be having similar battles this as in last. Where it's like, okay, it's like they're a good team, but.
And then Wednesday, big Wednesday is big. The aforementioned Maryland traveling to Ann Arbor to take on Michigan. 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. 7 o'clock, ESPN 2. Florida goes to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They take on the Crimson Tide.
Remember, this is not the football team you're playing, Gators.
FS1, 8:30 p.m. Marquette heads to Connecticut to take on the Huskies, the bet-to-bet champions who are struggling. And then don't sleep on Oxford, Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen, as the Volunteers head to take on the Rebels.
All right, Volunteers, this is what you should do. You should go into Oxford. You should beat Lane Kiffin down. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was thinking this was football, not basketball.
What is up with you and football references today? You missing football one? You got some time. The NFL draft is a little more than a month away.
NFL draft is in 8 weeks. Yes, I'm aware. Yes.
You can hold off for 8 weeks. You can
yes.
Actually, I take that back. You only have to wait that long because free agency starts in like 2 weeks.
I was about to say that was just, but you took the words out of my mouth. I was like, I don't even have to wait that long because free agency will be in about 2. So I can wait that long.
Jeez.
But it's just fun. It's fun, especially with the SEC. It's fun to actually use football tropes for them being so successful in basketball. I think it's hilarious.
Jesus, that will do it for the men's side. When we come back, we're gonna talk women's because their regular season ended, and how did it end is the question. We'll be back.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening,
this Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern,
exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Liz. Liz is the leader and #1 destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Liz has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country.
Welcome back to Shooting Lights Out here as we now dive into the ladies' game. That was the last week of their regular season. We're going to begin with the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Good. No, they took care of business. Good.
Notre Dame, they needed a bounce back game. They got it. NC State, they handled business on the road. North Carolina got caught in Chapel Hill, and Duke handled business in Tallahassee. Coming off back-to-back losses, what was the Fighting Irish going to do at home? Why they wore their Shamrock jerseys here. And then in the second half is when they begin to pull away from the Louisville Cardinals. Hannah Hidalgo, 20 points, 6 from 14 from the field, 2 for 2 from three-point range, 6 from 8 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Man, forget the uniforms they wore. The defense they played. Man. The coach lit into them. You can tell the coach lit into them with that defensive effort they put forth against the Cardinals. You could tell. Woo, goodness gracious, man.
And then Duke went to Tallahassee, and they put their foot up the Florida State's behind.
Statement win for the Lady Blue Devils. I think they have to prove that they can be one of those top 4 seeded teams, and this is one good way of proving it.
Toby Fournier, 28 points, 11 for 15 from the field, 6 from 8 from three-point range. Talking about efficiency.
Damn, yeah.
With 6 rebounds. She bought in that band and was like, oh, I like this better.
And they shut them down the fourth quarter defensive. That's what I'm talking about, Lady Blue Devils. That's right. Play with that effort on the defensive end. We'll eliminate them to one shot and get them boards. That's what I'm talking about.
Unfortunately, the back-to-back losses for Notre Dame only got them a share of the ACC title along with the NC State Wolfpack.
Oh, well, congratulations to both the Lady Wolfpack and the Lady Fighting Irish.
But now y'all asking, so who gets the number 1 seed? Well, that would be the NC State Wolfpack because they beat Notre Dame 2 weekends ago.
That makes sense.
So NC State number 1, Notre Dame number 2, Duke number 3, and Florida State number 4.
So they're the ones that get the double buys. Okay.
They get the double buys. As you can see, North Carolina, Louisville, Cal, Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech, they get the single bye. Mm-hmm. And this will tip off, the ACC tournament will tip off on Wednesday, March 5th, beginning with the Boston College and Syracuse. And then we'll move on from there with the championship being crowned on Sunday, March 9th. That is your ACC update. Big Ten update. USC, UCLA ran it back again. Michigan.
He did it again. Woo.
USC and saying a business against Minnesota. And then Maryland and Ohio State had a thriller. Speaking of which, USC and UCLA ran it back, and Juju did it again. 30 points.
That woman a problem.
30 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks.
That woman a problem. That's all I got to say. She ain't even a pro, and that woman a problem.
So, I sent you the message, so you know what I'm going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I wrote an article that says Juju Watkins is the best player in college basketball.
I can't debate that.
Somebody tried to.
I mean, who are we talking about more than her? And I'm talking about the men. I know you're saying it too. The men and the women. What college basketball athlete are we talking about more? Juju. Nobody. We ain't talking about nobody more than Juju. We're not even talking about anybody as much as Juju.
And those of you who want to be on the Cooper Flag band, where I put out numbers out there, and those numbers from Cooper Flag don't compare to what Juju has done.
Yeah, less points and less assists, I think.
Less points, less assists, less steals, and less blocks.
Less steals and blocks, yeah. So yeah, yeah. Good, but not Juju level.
And here's the thing. Those of you who watched last episode, y'all know what I'm talking about. Cole wasn't here for me to see it, but I gave the numbers of what Juju has done against ranked opponents, with the Trojans being 8-1 against ranked opponents. The only loss was to Notre Dame. She was averaging 27 points.
See that right there. That's elite level concentration.
This is number 2, and she put up 30 against them again.
This is elite level competition. This is a woman who, when the lights are on brightest, when the competition is at its steepest, she comes out and gives you the best that she can give you. And when that is the case, you want to do nothing but tune in and watch, because greatness will be on full display.
Now, I almost missed the game because I was too busy caught up in the Elimination Chamber for obvious reasons. You'll find out in about 30 minutes or why I almost missed out on this game.
And this woman's only 19, and she's giving people the business like this.
This Juju Watkins, the best player in college basketball.
She giving people the bit. She giving people the business, and she ain't even a junior. Forget it. She's not even a junior, and she giving people the business.
Oh, and by the way, she already locked up player of the year. There's nobody catching that.
People battling for a second with that. Best college basketball player in the game. Not even a question. Juju Watkins, not even a question. It's just a matter of when she's going to conquer. No, when she's going to get the national championship that she's going to get, and then how long will it take for her to conquer the WNBA? That's the two questions. That's the only two questions I got with Juju.
Maryland survived Ohio State 93-90 in an overtime.
Ooh.
Kaylin Samir, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, but it was TBIC. And no, not the wrestler.
Oh, it's like Ted?
And no, not the wrestler. Hitting a game-winning 3 at the buzzer to pull it out for Maryland. Gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. There was some great the ladies put on a basketball display Sunday. Great display of basketball on Sunday. But the fact that Juju is Juju, guess who won the Big Ten?
Well, and of course, it's on the strength of the two L's that UCLA has. Both of them to the Lady Trojans.
Courtesy of Juju Watkins.
Courtesy of Juju Watkins both times. Once in LA, once in Pasadena.
So the Trojans are the number 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament, followed by UCLA, Ohio State, and Maryland. This tournament kicks off on Wednesday, March 5th, and it ends Sunday, March 9th. You probably seen a theme here.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm looking at this, I don't see anybody that can challenge the top 4 teams. In my opinion,
I don't either.
I don't see anybody that can challenge them. But last year we were surprised because we had some crazy results happening in conference tournament. That's why March is so great.
Yeah,
you never know what to expect in March.
Nope.
You think one thing and something else happened. You like, what just happened? Any given night in basketball, especially in college. But that's the Big Ten. Let's go to the Big 12. Back to Cole Johnson's old stomping grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State dominated 14th-ranked Wildcats of Kansas State, and TCU went into Waco and took down Baylor.
Big time win for the Lady Horned Frogs.
Audie Crooks, 36 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Wow.
That big girl put on a show against the Wildcats. They had no answers. Man,
now this is a hard L for Kansas State to take. I mean, a beatdown. A beatdown into a team that's fighting for their NCAA tournament lives. So, and this probably will make them a candidate to be in the tournament now. Not just a win against a top 20 team, but a beatdown of one
to close the season out.
Yeah, and this is the last game of the regular season, and they give a 14th ranked team a 22-point butt whooping. Dominated them in the second half, gave them a 22-point butt whooping.
A beatdown unheard of. And then down at Waco, TCU number 10. 3-point victory over 17-ranked Baylor Bears. Sedona Prince, 16 points, 7 for 10, 7 for 17 from the field, 19 19 rebounds.
Points were at a premium in this game.
She had 19 rebounds.
I know Baylor. I know the lady Gold. I know the Lady Bears are kicking themselves in the hiney. Lack of effort, and you can see it in the first quarter. Lack of effort.
And guess what? With this result, for the first time ever in basketball, I ain't saying women's basketball, in basketball, a Big 12 championship is going to Fort Worth, Texas.
The city sucks, but the team doesn't. Congratulations to TCU.
By the way, Haley Van Lent turned into Louisville Van Lent when she went to TCU.
Good.
That's the Haley Van Lent I wanted at LSU.
Good. She found her way finally. Good. Hate that it wasn't in LSU, but she found a way. That's good.
She turned back to Louisville, Haley Van Lent, and this is why TCU is on top of the Big 12.
Yeah. And and yes, along with a statement win to close out the season against one of your arch rivals. Great job. Great job, TCU. Great job.
And with them, the Big 12 championship is now, conference tournament is now set. TCU's the 1, Baylor's the 2, Oklahoma State's the 3, and West Virginia is 4. A name that you didn't expect to hear. West Virginia, the 4 seed. Their tournament begins, you guessed it, Wednesday, March 5th, and ends
March the 9th.
Sunday, March 9th. So you see a theme here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to the Southeastern Conference. Yet again, the best conference in basketball.
Well, somewhat unlike the men. I mean, this one is real top heavy.
Georgia did the unthinkable in Knoxville.
Beating the Lady Vols. Woo, wow.
Ole Miss did the unthinkable, so we thought, in Baton Rouge, but there's a news about that. Why that happened? South Carolina.
Kim Mulkey decided to play, and we discovered she can't.
No, I'll let you know. South Carolina, Kentucky tried, but South Carolina kept them at a distance. Oklahoma taking down Alabama.
Boo!
That's right. Ole Miss went to Baton Rouge and took down 7th-ranked LSU. Tamia Sadler's 19 points. 5. She didn't shoot well from the field, but hey, she shot 50% from 3-point range. So
she shot well enough.
She had 5 steals.
There we go. That's how she made the biggest of differences. She shut some stuff down the other end of the floor.
But if you didn't know, now what happened to LSU? Well, guess what? And this is news that Tiger fans don't want to hear. Flau'jae Johnson did not play in that game, and she would miss the SEC tournament too.
Oh man.
She'll be back for the NCAA tournament. She will not be around for the SEC tournament.
Oh man, that might hurt their chances of being the number 1 seed. Oh wow.
And you want to know why Ole Miss caught them? They didn't have their star player.
Mm-hmm. Oh well. Because I was hoping that the SEC was going to lock down 3 number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament.
So that's how.
But that's not going to happen though. Man.
South Carolina, as I mentioned earlier, did their thing. Tessa Johnson, 16 points, 7 of 9 from the field, 2 from 3-point range. And Kentucky they'll get it to 5. South Carolina ran it back up. Get it down to 4. South Carolina ran it back up. Just kept them at an arm distance.
Look, the Lady Wildcats, they just didn't have the horses. That's just it. I mean, yeah, they're a good team, and they put forth a great effort in Columbia, but come on, we're talking about the Lady Gamecocks here.
And I'm worried about
the best teams we've seen one of the best teams we've seen in a long time.
And I'm worried about the Lady Gamecocks.
And they're having a down season.
That's my problem. This might be the year they get caught.
I think they will get caught this year. Not rooting for it, but I think they will get caught.
I think they getting caught. They don't.
Yeah.
Pow, Raven Johnson, Tej Johnson, kids.
They got some good players. They
got good players, but they don't have
they
that. They don't have that player.
They don't have the difference maker. That was just about to say. They don't have the difference maker, and I think that's what's keeping them from basically being the odds-on favorite again this year.
They don't have that player. That's a problem.
Yeah, they don't have like an Asia Wilson. Aaliyah Boston. They don't have that type of player.
Notre Dame, they got two. They got Harriet Miles. Pick your poison. Which one you want them to destroy you? We gotta talk about USC. Juju Watkins. When the lights are on, she's coming. And be prepared. Texas, they got Madison Booker.
Yeah, the female Kevin Durant, Lord.
Gosh. Was I lying though?
No, you're not. You're not lying.
We're talking UConn. And we seen what they did in South Carolina.
Yeah, they beat them down. Gosh. Ooh. Man, I feel for the Lady Gamecocks with that beat down myself, and I didn't even play for them. Ooh.
So I'm not liking Downstate's chances this year. I really don't.
It's not even close as good as it was last year. So yeah. No.
And then Oklahoma had a business against Alabama.
Crimson Tide, you all suck.
Beers with 22 points, 8 from 9 from the field, 6 from 9 from 3-point range, and 11 boards.
But seriously, that's how you have to take care of business like that. So yeah, congrats to the Lady Sooners for closing it out strong.
And then we ended up with the co-champions, South Carolina
and Texas.
The Lady Longhorns are bringing a ACC banner to Austin.
Yes. Good job, Lady Longhorns.
Unfortunately, we had a dilemma. Well, they both had the same record, which were their co-champions.
And they both split their season series against each other.
So we need to find out who's the 1 seed here for the SEC tournament. Going to Greenville here. So guess what? You had to do a coin flip. And it landed up South Carolina.
So it might as well be South Carolina because they're playing in the state anyway, so let it be them.
Coin flip goes to the Gamecocks, so they get the 1 seed, which means Texas gets the 2 seed, LSU the 3 seed, Kentucky the 4 seed.
The only problem I have with that is, it might be a blessing though, since LSU will not be playing with Flossie Johnson. So that might be a blessing, and heck, they may not be playing as LSU in the conference semifinal.
But it's that second line I'm looking at. Oklahoma, the 5th seed. Alabama, the 6th seed.
I'm thinking
7.
I'm thinking they might take. I think they I'm also one of those that I can clown a team if I play dislike them, but I could be. But I could be unbiased. Oklahoma can get with Kentucky. They can get with Kentucky in a conference in a conference quarterfinal. They can get with them, and I would not be surprised if I see them playing against South Carolina in the conference semifinal.
And this tournament begins March
Wednesday,
5th, and it ends
Sunday,
March 9th.
March the 9th.
And those are the tournament updates that I have for you. Oh, I forgot one. The Big East. Well, we already know who won the Big East.
Oh, yeah. You can't sleptwalk their way to the championship. Jeez.
And here's the scary part that I found out. AC Fudd still has one more year eligibility.
So you mean tell me they can run this back?
AZ Fudd has 1 more year eligibility left. Actually, Paige does too, but Paige already declared she's going to the WNBA. But if AC Fudd come back, good gracious.
So that means they can run this back. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, when I found that, I was like, oh, Lord. And my fact, here it is right here. AZ4 is still undecided on returning to UConn or turning pro.
If you need the money, go, honey. But if you don't, I think you'll make a bigger impact if you go to WNBA next year.
If she returns and she's not injured, because we starting to see when she's not injured, she's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Just be aware. And then we get to the Big East tournament, which is the only difference of all the other ones. They begin Friday, March 9th, and they end Monday, March 10th.
Mm-hmm.
But I see nobody's challenging UConn. So
I don't either. And I would love to say I'm wrong. I'm not, and you're not either.
They already smacked Creighton in the last game of the season. So
I was going to say that the only possible challenge is Creighton, but you took care of business with them. So
they already smacked them. So
yeah. So no, I don't see anybody that can challenge UConn for the conference championship of the Big East.
And then here's your Bubba Watson according to Charlie Cream for the lady side. Last 4 byes: Oregon, Indiana, Nebraska, Iowa State. You did say that win over Kansas State was big,
Kansas
right?
State. It was.
There you go. Last 4 bye.
Yeah, I'm about to say they probably took them from the last 4 in to the last 4 bye.
Which means they are safely in at the moment in time.
Right.
It'll take a dramatic, unworthy Big 12 tournament for them.
Yeah, but they probably have to bounce in the first game they play for them to be out.
Last 4 in: Washington, Minnesota, Princeton, and Harvard. And then you look at the first 4 out: Virginia Tech, Arizona, Marquette, St. Joseph. So there you go.
Wow. How the mighty have fallen. The Lady Cardinal, they were in the next 4 out. Now, this was a team that normally would be perennial Final Four.
He's talking about Stanford, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Stanford. Perennial Final Four. Perennial Elite 8. And they are in the next 4 out. How the mighty has fallen.
Next 4 out, Stanford.
When they were in the Pac-12, they were mighty and high, and then now they're in the ACC, and they don't even rate.
You can say the same thing for Virginia Tech. You talking Elite 8 team?
Yeah, but they hadn't fallen as hard. But yeah, you could say somewhat the same for Virginia Tech, but Stanford, that was a perennial Final Four team. And basically they have to hit their knees and pray to make the tournament. It's been a long time since I've heard that about a Lady Cardinal team. Ooh,
and this is why it's so interesting when the calendar turns to March.
Jeez, man.
Who's in? Who's out? Who needs help? There you go. North Carolina on the men's side.
Right.
Outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
The Lady Cardinals of Stanford. They need a hell of an ACC run.
Forget wing and prayer. They need to probably win the tournament for them to even have a chance to be in the big dance. So, wow.
We are in conference tournament time in the ladies, so we're going to be seeing some tickets punched to the dance. And yes, I will do what I've been doing for the past 2 years. I will chronicle every single tournament winner. Mm-hmm. So you will know who was officially in as the 32 at large bits.
Right.
On both the ladies and the men's.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time since basketball been like this. And the fact that both the lady and the men's are both exciting, this is going to make this month of March Madness even more fun.
Well, the men better come with it because the ladies have claimed their class the last 2 years.
Man, this season, the men stepped it up.
Yeah.
The men stepped it up. So I'm looking forward to this ride. It's going to be a great ride.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, any final words as we get out of here? I think Coach Johnson might be joining me for Monster Wrestling in about 10 minutes to say whatever he got to say about Travis Scott.
Look, the ladies, once again, great season. I'm proud of you. People want to still 2025. People still want to sleep on your product, and you keep proving that with the fundamentals that you play with, that you all are worthy to be talked about. And it's like what Playmaker said, and I totally agree. Your game has the best player, men or women, that's playing right now in college basketball, in Juju Watkins. So that should tell you how big of an impact you guys are making on the sport. Congratulations to the men for stepping it up, because I know that you've been hearing that, yeah, the game is not nearly as exciting as it used to be, and now the women outclass the men. And you're showing that, well, your brand of basketball can be just as entertaining too. So congrats to you guys. I'm glad you all are stepping up. I hope that you can give us a great last week in the regular season, and I hope you can step it up in the conference tournament as well the following week. And of course, we'll be seeing teams getting their tickets punched also throughout the week too, in the men's game as well. And as for the NBA, Joel Embiid basically typifies what the NBA is all about, because it's about getting mine, and that's it. It's like that old MC Breed song back in the day with Tupac guest on it. I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. And the NBA is all about getting yours. Well, now you're seeing, dummies, when you're about getting yours, we as the fans don't get ours in terms of entertainment value, in terms of a product that we're proud to watch, in terms of something that we could say, I am an NBA fan. Unless you're diehards, your product is not enjoyable. And guess who's to blame? All of you. So you need to take a lesson from the men and the women of the college ranks and actually give a crap about your product, because it's going down the toilet very fast and headed down into the sewers very soon.
I have nothing else to add. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. You can catch this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and where else you get your podcasts at. This also will be available on the Real Wise Radio. Shout out to Wise at Hefe.
Wise, love you, brother.
And 502 American Ninja Radio. That's Cole Johnson. I'm the Playmaker. And this was it for Shooting Lights Out.
You've done good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting Lights Out.
Masterpiece.